Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I'm doing fantastic, and I certainly hope that you are too. And if you're not, well, you should be. In this video, I'm pretty excited about. Really, I am. So stick with me because, I know that I talk a lot about nature of reality. Okay, and yeah, well, duh. But and I talk about simulation theory. Now, as I've said many times, I don't necessarily think that it is a computer simulation. Okay, I'm very on board with the whole divine matrix thing too. I mean, ultimately, my belief is that all is mind, all exists in the mind of the all, in the mind of the creator, in its imagination. Now, I also know, though, that there are many, many layers to this. And somewhere in those layers may be computer simulation. Okay. And then there also may be other imagined realities, imagined worlds, universes. All of that is very possible because when you look at the infinity of just the vastness of infinity, anything's possible. However, I also know that there are those people who are materialists, people who believe in strictly material science. And they believe that the universe was created 13.7 billion years ago during a big bang, and that consciousness originates from the brain, that there is none of the, there's no, all the metaphysical, all of the spiritual, all the mental stuff is not real. I know that those people exist. And I would love to sway them over to the other side. And the reason why is because, well, that outlook, that materialist outlook is very bleak, really. I mean, I'm like, wouldn't you rather just have more fun with it? I mean, just straight up, wouldn't you? Anyway, dear loved one, before I get into my reasoning behind all of this, please give me a thumbs up. I would so appreciate it. And also, from looking at the analytics on YouTube, I am aware of the fact that about 90% of the people who view these videos are not subscribed. So I do appreciate you watching the videos. I do. However, I would really appreciate it if you would also subscribe to the channel. Please. I really would appreciate that. So, thank you very much in advance. So, there's lots of reasons why I would say that this construct or this universe, and some people are like, what do you mean by construct, Matt? Do you mean the world, or do you mean maybe the Van Allen radiation belt, which is kind of encases the world, so we can kind of go into inner space, but not necessarily deep outer space? Or do you think maybe it is inside the Oort cloud, which encases the solar system, and that's kind of the boundary, and that's what the big Dyson shell that we reside in? Or is it the universe as a whole is a one big construct, and there may be, it could be one in a big bowl full of marbles, and each one is a universe. All of that is very possible, I suppose. But again, as I've said many times before, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't, as far as that goes. But there are many reasons why I know that it's not just the big cosmic accident. For one of the good reasons for mentalism, at least, is placebo effect. Placebo effect is very real. It's very well documented. It's proven, really, because we've had so many cases, and I mean so many cases, of placebo effect, of people being cured of very dire consequences or circumstances, I guess, not kind of very dire, people being cured of very dire circumstances with a sugar pill, for example. If they're convinced that this medicine or this treatment of whatever sort it is going to cure their ailment, Once they become convinced of that, they get themselves in the vibration of this is healing me, and they become healed. That's the placebo effect. And it's like, we later find out that it's like, well, there was nothing really given to them except something that led them to believe they were going to be healed. Now, in a material realm, in a material construct, that would not, or strictly material universe, in that case, I suppose, but in a strictly material universe, that would not happen. It just wouldn't. Another good example, I think, of a kind of the case against materialism is the Mandela effect. And I have a lot of little feelings about the Mandela effect, but one is that, like, for example, and almost everybody knows, I mean, I don't feel like I have to explain what Mandela effect is, but like, for example, in Star Wars, the C-3PO's is gold, solid gold, all the way up and down from his top of his head to the bottom of his feet. And then now we're told that one of his legs is silver, and it always has been. And I'm like, no, it hasn't, because I had the little C-3PO action figure when I was a kid, and he was solid gold. Just was. That's all. And also, like, with the whole Darth Vader saying, he never said, Luke, I am your father. He said, no, I am your father. I'm like, no, that doesn't even sound right. I can hear it in my head right now. I've seen Star Wars when I was a kid so many times. I'm telling you now, he said, Luke, I am your father. And like, there are hundreds, probably thousands of Mandela effects. And then there are cases of people having personal Mandela effects in their life. And again, in a material realm, that would not happen. It just wouldn't. If everything were exactly black and white as it is, just so, in a material realm, Mandela effect could not happen. Now, I know people have their theories over what has caused Mandela effect. I'm going to give you mine. Mine is, okay, I've mentioned Rene Descartes, the French philosopher, many times. Rene Descartes believed, I shouldn't say that. Rene Descartes theorized that this construct was created by the creator and has since been hijacked by an evil demon and for its own gain, and it is not for our own good. Okay, it's like, well, so but that means that we are kind of enslaved. Well, I guess I got to go a little bit deeper into the whole thing. With regards to simulation theory, to use an analogy, like if it were, let's say this realm, this construct that we live in, is a server. Okay, so we live on this server, and then the creator will run sims, right? We'll run a sim, which is however long it is. And I believe that we, dear loved one, have voluntarily come into this for the purpose of having experiences and gaining knowledge and wisdom and insight and all of that. So the server that we are on now, when you do find there are our artifacts, we have found cities buried just in the dirt. I mean, like a mile under the ground, there's evidence of cities. There are artifacts from all kinds of things, and then dinosaur bones and stuff like that, whatever. Fossils and things like that. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. So fossils and artifacts from previous civilizations. Now, any computer geek will tell you that if you take a computer and you do a factory reboot on it, and and set it back to factory settings. And so this computer is completely wiped clean. They'll tell you no. There are always going to be artifacts of the previous what was on it previously. It's buried in there somewhere. You've got to find it, but it's there. That would be much like what we would call fossils and artifacts, things that are found in archaeology that we cannot explain. Things are found in archaeology like tools and instruments and pottery from what's dating back impossible time frames back. It's like, so am I suggesting that those are maybe from a previous run of a simulation? Yes, that's exactly what I am insinuating. I'm not insinuating at all, I'm saying it. That those artifacts found in archaeology that cannot be explained would be just like the reboot. So, yes, they run a series of lifetimes. Here we are. Problem is this series of lifetimes has been, as Rene Descartes theorized, hijacked by an evil demon. Now, so our creator on the outside would be trying to get our attention, trying to tell us, hey, this is not a material realm. Hey, this is more than just materialism. So that would explain the Mandela effect. Thing is about Mandela effect is there's never been a harmful Mandela effect. There's never been a case where a Mandela effect where it was like, well, there was a bridge there and now it's not, and all these people are plummeting to their death because the bridge that everybody thinks was there is not there. Maybe that was a bad example. But the point is, Mandela effects are always harmless. Very puzzling, a lot of things, but nonetheless, there's nothing dangerous about Mandela effects. They are just simple little breadcrumbs thrown at us to make us question reality. Straight up. Pardon me. So the Mandela effects would be happening to get our attention. Hey, this is not materialism. Mandela effects and placebo effects could not happen in a material realm. They just couldn't. They happen in a quantum realm. They happen in a programmable realm. They happen somewhere where things can and do change at the drop of a vibration, for that matter. Anyway, loved one, I've got other examples, but I may hold off on those. For example, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but I will just kind of plant the seed. If this were a material realm, there would be no order to it in the magnitude that there is, such as Fibonacci sequences, such as the golden ratio, such as the Mandelbrot set. Mandelbrot set shows that everything is repetitive, forward and backward, in every direction. Mandelbrot is fascinating. If you're not familiar with Mandelbrot set, yeah, I don't know that much about it, but what I do know, it is absolutely fascinating because it does show a ever repeating pattern that goes in every direction. It's perfect. And in a accidental cosmos, that would not happen. So there you go, loved ones. Anyway, if you have not yet hit the thumbs up button, please do so. And also follow me on X. You can find me on X at Matt Stevens, MSA. And I believe in I'm going to continue on this some more because it's something that I am very interested in, is the nature of reality and basically proving that the construct, that reality is mental. Yep, that's what I got for you, loved ones. Yeah, follow me on X, Matt Stevens MSA. Please subscribe to this channel. Help me grow it. I would so appreciate it. And that's what I got. I do love you, and I'll be back directly.